Marseille. We arrived at port on a sunny morning, ready to explore the Phocéan city, as we French often name it, with much anticipation. It might sound silly that I, a French inhabitant, had never been to Marseille and had to sail to it on a cruise ship from Italy. To finally pay a visit to the second or third, there's a debate with Lyon, biggest city in France. Let me show you why Marseille hasn't had the best reputation among us. Nice picture, don't you think? Let's be honest, Marseille has a long history. It has been founded by the Greeks more than 2,000 years ago and is consequently the oldest city in France. Some years ago, it was awarded Capital City of Culture, and thus, the city made great efforts to change its image and bring back tourists on its old port, to make us feel the old atmosphere that Marcel Pagnol made us love when we were kids, and appeal to culture by building a famous new museum dedicated to the sea and the history of the city. That's why I was really eager to get off board and start visiting. But there came a tiny problem. Like my 7-year-old daughter, who insisted we went on exploration of the ship first. I won't lie to you, at first I was upset. It turned out to be a very good idea. You see, it's when a ship is in port then most people go out to visit, and thus you can enjoy the ship with few people on board. Many YouTubers enjoy that time to film the ship. And I must say, the Fantasia is really lovely under the morning sun. We explored the upper decks, enjoyed the empty outdoor pool at the aft of the ship, and took time to see how the sport arena looked like. My daughter also insisted to see where the waterslide was, because she wanted to enjoy it later that day after our visit. We also had the chance to admire some other ships from Royal Caribbean and Costa Cruises. Once our little tour was finished, we went ashore. As everyone was already gone, there was no waiting line to go outside, and not many people for the bus to the city. In almost every port, MSC has a shuttle that costs around 10 or 20 euros to go to the city and back anytime you want during the day. You just have to fill in a form the evening before. So we enjoy the ride that got us right at the feet of Marseille Cathedral de la Major. There, we began our visit. La Cathédrale de la Major was built in a Neo-Byzantine style between 1852 and 1893. She nicely stands on the recently renovated Esplanade Jean-Paul II. It's a free visit that will plunge you in a haven of steadiness just next to the most busy areas of Marseille. Take some time to enjoy the nice architecture and the beautiful statues. It's not too much decorated, and just magnificent enough not to be extravagant. It's a place I really love. When you come out, you can see right in front of you one of the most recent part of Marseille, where they built the MUSEM and the Museum of the Cosquer Cave. The MUSEM building can be accessed freely, and we will get there in a moment. But if you come to Marseille with children, I strongly recommend the Museum of the Cosquer Cave. The adult fee is around 16 euros. 2 hours are more than enough to visit the place. It's a reproduction of the real cave, which can only be accessed by experimented divers, as the entrance has been covered by the rise of the sea level since prehistoric times. You go around the cave in some sort of mini-wagon, just like in Pirates of the Caribbean, while an audio comment explains in your own language the things you need to know about this cave that hides many traces of ancient human occupation. Then, in the upper levels, you can access an exhibition of recreated animals from the period, which are really well done. You will also get a lot of information about the formation of the cave, how it was recovered by water at the end of the Ice Age, and how humans and animals lived at that time. Needless to say, my daughter loved it. Next to the two museum, you may see some of the smallest and most luxurious cruise ships that can dock directly there. That's how we got to see the Silver Sea. I guess disembarking right next to the city center must be quite convenient. If you have time, or if you skipped the previous museum, the MUSEM is there for you. The building can be accessed freely in any case, but the exhibitions may cost you some money. Then, take the elevator and go to the roof. There you can take the bridge that will take to the citadel that guards the old port. The view is amazing on any side, and the citadel itself has been restored and modernized so that people can enjoy the outdoors. Take the time to overview the old port in all its glory. On the opposite side, you will see the famous Notre Dame de la Garde, the most famous church in Marseille. If you want to include it in your visit, you have mini trains that depart from the port to ride up there. But be aware that you may need at least 2 hours on your program if you want to visit and come back. Maybe even more. So plan it a few days before, to be sure how to visit and not come back too late to the ship. You know that they won't wait for you if so. Anyway, we choose not to go and rather enjoy our time in the city. Back to the old port with a fun fact. Did you know that from 1905 to 1944, there was a metal bridge that allowed to pass between the two sides of the port? It must have been something. There even was a restaurant up there. Today, for only 50 cents, you can take the shortest cruise ever with the little ferry that takes you from one side to the other all along the day. After the Citadel, we walked around 10 or 15 minutes to get to the heart of Marseille. There you will find the center of the old port. You may enjoy the main street of Marseille, which is called and the many streets around with so many shops and restaurants. It's the perfect way to end your visit because, as you may already know, the stops in every city when you're on a cruise are not long enough to see everything. We then walked back to the bus stop where we immediately had a shuttle that took us right in front of the ship. The weather was splendid and I had a promise to honor. Off to the waterslide we went. Now may be a good time to show you the multiple pools that you will find on the Fantasia. At the center of the ship, you will find the indoor pool, which comes with 3 jacuzzis. You will also find a bar just next to the pool and also the pool shop, which didn't seem to be open when we were on board. Also at the center, you will also find the main outdoor pool, which comes with 2 jacuzzis right next to it, and 2 bigger jacuzzis on the upper deck. The outdoor pool features 2 bars, one on each side. You will also find an ice cream shop, where ice creams are free for the kids if they have the drink package. Then, you will find the water slide, that I already show you, and a small pool for the little children. Finally, at the back of the ship, you will find the second outdoor pool, which also includes 2 jacuzzis. As always, there's also a bar just on the side. For those who can access the yacht club, you will find your pool at the very front of the ship. This exclusive, yet quite small, pool is only for the members of the yacht club. It features also a bar and a small dining station, which looks very nice. Let's call this a day. It's time to end this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. I will try to translate most of my cruises in English, so don't miss the new videos. On the next one, we will visit the famous Barcelona in Spain, and maybe take a look at some of the bars on board. Stay tuned, come back, and I will see you soon.